So this is a little different. I make a couple of comments about Perrier. The next thing I know, I have 3 cases of Perrier on my hands. I'm here with my friend Jason. Jason?
Hello, Paul. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. And we're going to do, it's midnight, or it's going to be midnight in about 2 minutes, and we're going to be doing some binge Perrier drinking.
Sounds fantastic.
And by the way, not the Perrier champagne. Perrier, the sparkling water. Okay, so we have 3 here. We've got the original, the Pink Grapefruit, which I have to admit is a personal favorite. I think I used to call it pamplemousse. And then we've got lime as well.
Well, I'm excited. I drink a lot of sparkling water, but I haven't tried some of these varieties of Perrier.
Okay. Now, just looking at it from a visual standpoint, which one jumps out at you here?
I will say that the grapefruit jumps out. I've mostly seen Perrier in bottle. These are cans, so very cool. Perhaps we should start with original.
Right.
And then try out these delicious flavors.
Okay, because if we start with the original, then we kind of like have a clean palate.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to open up the original. This is an 8.45 fluid ounce can. All right. Okay. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The first thing I noticed is that there's more complexity to this than other sparkling waters that I've had. Mineral taste is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I believe that is because it is from the source. It's actually from a spring in France.
Okay, I believe that perhaps I have been drinking a lower quality of sparkling water in the past.
Okay, well, for anyone who's listening, I'm not paying him to say that. There's more bubbles, I feel.
Yes, but the taste is fantastic.
It's great, yeah. It's crisp, hydrating, I would say. Now, even though it is the original, it's clear. If you had a case like I have, would you see yourself cutting fruit and putting it in the Perrier, or do you see yourself just like this?
I could see both ways, but I like to sometimes add fruit juice to sparkling water, maybe a little bit of mango orange or maybe a pomegranate blueberry as honestly just a tiny little flavor add, and this would be perfect to add a little splash to for me.
Mm-hmm. You know, if you squeeze an entire orange in a sparkling water, that's called a John Murray.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm finishing up my half of the can. And it's time for round 2. I'm thinking lime.
Absolutely.
Why absolutely?
Well, the grapefruit's going to have a little bit more of a complex flavor. So, I mean, not to say that I don't know what to expect from the lime, but I would say that's the one to try next.
Okay. All right. So,
and for the purposes of bubbles, maybe we go with a little bit less than the whole can.
Less? You don't want the whole thing?
Well, just so I don't fill up too quickly.
I see. Okay, so.
Perfect.
All right, so he's got a half glass. I've got a little more. But now we move on to lime, which I haven't had a lime Perrier in a long time.
My first.
Okay, so.
Cheers.
All right.
No, the lime hits the nose right away.
Yeah. And you know, I'll have to maybe ask the publicist how they get the flavor. Because it's 0 calories. It's 0, let's see here. 0 everything. 0 sodium, 0 carbohydrates, 0 sugars. The ingredients are carbonated mineral water and natural flavors.
It's subtle, but it's definitely there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is absolutely good enough to just drink by itself at any time.
Yeah, it's very good. And it's not sweet. I don't like a sweet. Now, here comes the question. What kind of person do you think drinks this?
Well, they offer it in, more upscale restaurants. Say, would you like Perrier? But they're not offering Perrier with lime. If they did, I would think that this would be an easier choice to make. For myself, I do drink sparkling water. This is better than most other sparkling waters I've had. And so, although I think that I have probably considered them all to be equal, this is far better than other sparkling waters. So perhaps the type of person who drinks this is me.
Well, that's nice. See, I've been a Perrier fan for a long time, I have to say. Believe it or not, this may seem like an exaggeration. It's a luxury, but it's an affordable luxury.
Absolutely. And if you look at everything as the same, then I suppose you could just select anything off any shelf, but this is absolutely better than the other types of sparkling water that I tend to buy.
Well, we're winding things up here. We've got... Hold on, I'm going to finish off the lime here. This is real time, by the way. Thanks for sure. I'm going to be hydrated. Okay, so, obviously, I didn't introduce it, but this is the Pink Grapefruit, which again, I think was formerly known as the Pamplemousse.
Where does that name come from?
I believe it's French. See that?
Oh, there it is.
France. Discover more at Perrier.com. So, this is the last one, the Pink Grapefruit. A little more?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now this, it's always been, well, not always, but it's my favorite.
The Pink Grapefruit.
The Pink Grapefruit. So here we go. Cheers again. This is a lot to drink at once, but I have no problem with it.
Oh, it smells amazing.
It's so delicate.
Oh, wow, that's great.
It's great. Kind of floral, but tastes like pink grapefruit.
Well, and that's one of the, I think, advantages of pouring this into a brandy snifter, which we are drinking them from, is you really are picking up a bit of the nose.
I didn't think to smell it. But yes, you can actually smell the grapefruit.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a very high quality.
Yeah. It's been my favorite for a long time. Now, if Perrier was a song, what song would Perrier be? You can name any genre or artist.
Well, I'm going to go with something mellow like a Simon and Garfunkel. It's distinguished, but there's a couple of things going on. You have the crispness, you have the subtlety of the flavors, and I do believe that this would go well with a whiskey.
Really?
I absolutely do.
You think it'd be a good mixer?
Oh, absolutely. With a little bit of whiskey there. So it's complex, but something that's subtle but feels traditional and stands on its own. How about you?
Well, there are a few songs that mention Perrier. One by Joni Mitchell. Jimmy Buffett has a song called Perrier Blues, which is actually a rock song. But let me think about that for a second. You would maybe think that with Perrier and that it would be something, I don't know, maybe upper crust. I think not necessarily. I think it would be something by Cat Stevens.
I like it.
Can be classy, but really can be down to earth just the same.
Well, you want something that works for you every day, but also makes you feel like it's something special.
Well, I don't know how the listeners felt about this, but that was our Perrier tour. We went from original to lime to pink grapefruit. Thanks for doing this. That's a wrap. We'll continue drinking the Perrier, of course.
Thank you, Paul.
My pleasure.